pharmacy. So my background is pharmacy. I study pharmacy, and I specialized in herbal medicine in my degree. So
Okay.
I always had a passion for herbs and how to treat the human body naturally.
Okay.
And so basically, I then, whilst I was working as a pharmacist, I always leaned towards the natural side. So I always thought, okay, what can I give the person as a supplement, or what can I give them to help their immune system, or really just to get them through their situation and their illnesses as naturally as possible. And we're talking, 27 years ago. So it's a really, really long time ago, maybe even longer than that, actually. I think we're probably talking about 30 years ago. So I then came across a book written by Dr. Batch from the Batch Flower Remedies, like Rescue Remedy, who talked about homeopathy, and that really made me interested. So I decided to study homeopathy, and it was during then that I first discovered all the chemicals that go on our food. And then I discovered all the chemicals that go into our skincare. And I thought, wow, this is really, really surprising. I'm so shocked. And again, this is a long, long time ago. So it's way before all of this became mainstream and clean became the new way. It was really shocking to me. So I thought, well, what am I going to do about this? These chemicals actually impact our health, in that some of them are carcinogenic, some of them cause mood swings, some of them affect our nervous system, so some of them can be related to feelings like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all sorts of things like that. So I thought, okay, well, people don't know about this, and working in the mainstream was very, very difficult, because the tools were not there for me to educate people. I mean, I don't think in those days even internet existed. So it wasn't like you could even have a platform that you could share this information. So the idea came to my head. I thought, the idea of an organic pharmacy is a really, a place where everyone can come and everything is checked by me. And I was pregnant also at the time with my daughter, and I really wanted to make sure that everything I put on her was clean and toxin free. So it really became a lifestyle and a passion for me. And so that's when, I took the idea to my husband and said, what do you think about this? And he said, yep, it's a great idea. And we started to work on the design and the business plan and all the other stuff that goes behind it. And so it took us 4 years to take it from concept to opening our first store, which is on the King's Road in 2002. So back in those days, it was really difficult explaining to people what organic meant. Right. People knew why they should eat organic food, but most people didn't understand why they should use organic skincare. So that was a whole educational system of explaining that what these chemicals do to our bodies, what these chemicals do to our mind, but also the fact that these natural ingredients are so high in nutrients and vitamins and phytochemicals that really make the skin healthy. And for me, that was what my passion was about. It was about the health of the skin and the health of the body and the health of the mind. And then, fast forward, 20, 25 years. And this is now the topic that is...
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. But, it's wild to think that, you started this, you were like a pioneer in this movement, 25, 30 years ago. And even though, this is what everything is, there's still a lot of people that still don't understand it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people who don't, but God, my ambition in those days was that the whole industry would change. That was the goal. I wanted everyone to have access to the information, and I wanted everyone to be able to choose what they put on their skin, knowing that if they choose to put something that has chemicals, it's their choice and they're aware of it.
Right.
And so it makes me really, really happy today to see that there are so many clean brands and so many retailers taking the initiative. In the US, we're talking about people like Credo, like Goop, all the department stores, Bloomingdale's, Bergdorf's, Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, they all have clean areas. Sephora, Ulta. It's just phenomenal to see that. Really, really great, because ultimately it's for the greater good.
Yes, 100%. So now that you have, done this, are you still involved in this brand? Because at one point, Anna said that you did
Yes.
kind of
So
separate from the organic pharmacy, but you're all over.
So I sold the organic pharmacy 2.5 years ago to a really wonderful family-owned company in Italy called the Ganassini Corporation. They started in 1932. They're a pharmaceutical company. So as in they are the biggest skincare brand in Italy. And it's run by a father, son, and daughter family, and they're just lovely. Really high ethics, really, really high, really a real desire to continue the legacy and to provide the best possible to the public, which matched our philosophy completely. So I sold then, and I left for a year and a half, and then they asked me to come back. So it's been a really, really lovely, lovely journey, because in that year and a half, I sort of went off and did other things, which was really nice. I pursued my spiritual side. So, I went on to become a yogi and a shaman, which was one of my passions. I started a natural dog grooming company.
Yes.
So that's what
Charlie is. To talk about that too.
So that's been really fun, and I adore dogs so much. So it's been really great to be able to work on that and to continue to work on that. And then I started a little thing with my daughter called House of Roxy.
I saw that too. I did my research.
So that really explores
jewelry and crystals, crystals.
Yeah, it's sort of the witchy side that I love. So I like to now call myself a witch.
You're a witch, you're a shaman, you're a pharmacist, you're a dog groomer. I love it. I already have my title.
So it's really, really fun. It's been a great and it's been a really great journey for me personally, because through the shaman work, I've explored a lot about myself. And learned a lot about myself.
That. I'm super interested.
Yeah, so basically, learning how to be a shaman, I had the great fortune to meet a wonderful lady who agreed to teach me. Her name is Esther Lim, and she's been my mentor and my guide for the past year and a half, really teaching me how to heal others. So I've always been in the healing sphere.
Kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I've kind of used different things. With organic pharmacy, I kind of feel like I really explored the potions and the lotions side of witchcraft, for lack of another word. But organic pharmacy was very scientific. So, because of my pharmacy background, I based it on science, which was, how do the herbs work? How do the vitamins work? How does it all work? It's all very clinical, very results driven, very, very scientific. But there was some element of spirituality in there as well, because the formulas would just come to me, and it would just be beautiful to put them together. And then with the shaman work, with homeopathy, that was healing through vibrational energy, which is what homeopathy is. And even though a lot of people still don't understand it, it is healing. And then with the shaman work, it takes it even one step further, where you can heal really without any tools. So it goes into more of the psychology of healing and everything like that. So one of the other things I do is something called the Moon Bitches, which is once a month we do full moon ceremonies, which is so much fun.
Out in the woods? Just kidding.
If I'm lucky.
Oh yeah.
If I'm lucky, it's out in the woods. Otherwise, it's usually in the garden. But what I've noticed, Robin, is that people really want this right now. And it's all healing, just in different ways. So it's using different tools for the same goal, which is to make someone better. That's all.
So are you so do you have like a clientele that comes to you for these things? Is this a completely different service that you offer, almost like services and events that you hold, or?
So Moon Bitches is more events in the sense that we do once a month a full moon ritual. So, we talk about releasing and bringing in, releasing what doesn't serve us and bringing in what does.
Sounds amazing. I wish I was closer.
Oh, well, we're doing a Zoom one on the 29th.
Are
So
you really?
yeah, and it's for free. So
Oh,
please join us.
yeah,
I'll send you the details.
Okay. Wow, that sounds very amazing. And you said you were yogi too.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the 200-hour yogi, and I'd say that yoga was one of the things that really, really saved me so much, because having left organic pharmacy, there's such a huge gap in an entrepreneur's life. So when you've built something for me, it was almost 20 years. It was such a huge step, and within the process, my husband and I got divorced. So it was really the end of an era for me, and the beginning of a new one. And yoga was the thing that every day I would go on my mat and in my class, and that just, I went into myself through the practices of the asanas. And then I thought, I really want to learn more about this. I want to understand how these asanas work. How does a yogi work? How does a yogi think? How do we incorporate meditation? And through Esther, I learned shamanic yoga, which means you incorporate all the aspects of some of the shamanic healing into your yoga practice. And that just takes you to a whole different level. So I'm really grateful for that so much. And physically and mentally, it gives my body, it's like meditation for me. My yoga is like meditation.
I started doing personally yoga a couple of years ago, and I too feel that I say the same thing. It's my meditation, or my exercise is my drug, basically. Like, keeps me healthy, and the yoga too. I never thought that I would be so into it, and I really miss the communal experience, because we don't have yoga classes here. I'm in Los Angeles.
Right.
So I don't really know. I mean, is it still pretty closed up for where you're at? Or are they doing kind of limited classes?
So we were closed from March until the 1st of August. Everything was closed. Gyms, restaurants, the whole lot. And then on the 1st of August, the gyms opened again. And so I was able to go to my yoga classes. And that's, I'm with you exactly, Robin. It's like a whole new experience. And you just get so much more out of it, I feel.
You do. I mean, I try and do them, on my phone, on my mat. It's just not the same.
I agree.
I like the rooms where it's hot, like the hot yoga, where it's like, you're like, I'm going to pass out kind of yoga. Like, feels so good.
Yeah, it does. Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
was that in your background, like growing up? Can you talk a little bit about your background too?
So I'm Iranian. We never did anything like that, to be honest. But I think the natural medicine aspect of it comes from certainly from my growing up in Iran with my grandma and my mom, who always took me to the bazaar. And in the bazaars in Iran, there's always herbs and flowers and essences. And I remember, there was always a potion that my grandma would give me when I wasn't well. So I think the natural side of it comes from that. You're very much in tune with nature and how what nature has to offer. So you always tend to go for the more natural side. And I think that's really what I inherited from growing up in Iran. I mean, I left when I was 11.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it wasn't, I didn't grow up there as such, but certainly those first impressions were there.
Got you. Absolutely. So after being gone for like a year and a half, how was that transition coming back into organic pharmacy? Were
Um,
you
it was
hesitant at first, or
it
how
was
did that
super,
go?
it was super exciting. Yeah, of course, I was hesitant because ultimately, I always think I have even more responsibility
Mm-hmm.
because it's not mine
Started
anymore.
all these other things, and now you're coming back, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's company now.
it's someone else's. So I feel like that I have to work even harder because I'm responsible for someone else's
Mm-hmm.
business. But organic pharmacy is second nature to me, so
Yeah.
I know every single part of it. It's
So, what are some of the newer things that are happening with organic pharmacy? Some of the
yeah,
new
things. Well, we're opening a new store.
formulations, products.
Yeah, we're opening a new store
Okay.
in a few months, in a month's time, which is going to
Oh,
be our flagship. Really, really, really amazing concept. We've
where
got
is it
we're
going
gonna
to
have
be?
in Marylebone High Street. So
Okay.
it's in London, but in a sort of really nice high street, and we're going to have a refill station. We're going to have
Oh, awesome.
a lot of fun things in there. So I'm excited for that. We'll have a lot of events there. So I always wanted to incorporate education with organic pharmacy. So this means that we can start doing the educational process, which I think people are so hungry for.
Yeah, they
Uh,
love. Yeah, people want to be educated as to what they're actually using and why am I putting these ingredients on my skin? What is this doing for me? And,
Exactly,
you
exactly. And then
know.
we've got a lot of new products coming out. So we've got for the January, we've got a new slimming serum. We've got a new set of new masks coming out. So there's a new sun cream. There's quite a lot happening next year, which has been really fun to work on. Really fun.
That's awesome. How many stores are there?
So at the moment there are 3.
Okay.
Um, with this one there'll be 4.
And they're
Uh,
all based in London.
they're all based in London, yeah. And then we work with partners throughout the world. So we work with the hotel groups like Six Senses and Mandarin Oriental and Four Seasons. We've actually launched 2 new treatments for that, which is called the Immune Boosting Body Treatment and Immune Boosting Facial, which works on the lymphatic system and detoxifying the body to help our bodies get stronger and our immune systems get stronger. So that's been launched in the Four Seasons in London, and then it's rolling out to quite a few other hotels throughout the world.
Amazing. And what are some of your US retailers aside from obviously your direct to consumer website?
So we've got Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, and Bergdorf, and then we're also on Goop and Dermstore, and at the moment most of our spa retailers are still closed, but where else? Barney's is closed, yeah. So
Mhm.
Bloomingdale's, Dermstore,
Okay,
Neiman's, and Bergdorf.
got you. So what would you say is your top like 5 favorite organic pharmacy products of all time?
Well, my 2 favorite always are the antioxidant serum, uh, face serum, and the antioxidant gel. Those I formulated 18 years ago, and they're still our #1 bestseller. And then I also love the serums that I launched in 2018, which is the hyaluronic acid and the
Mm-hmm.
vitamin C and the retinol. Those are really, really amazing. And then I'd have to say that the new antioxidant jelly cleanser is my new favorite. Carrot butter cleanser has always been my favorite. I've loved that.
That
But
sounds delicious. I don't.
it is, it is. But the new antioxidant jelly cleanser is really fabulous. And then I'd have to say the honey and jasmine face mask, which is very, very good for my skin, because even though I have oily skin, it tends to become dehydrated. And when you get to a certain delicate age,
Mm-hmm.
um,
I don't know
your,
about that.
your skin needs some extra boost, and that's definitely me. So I love to put it all on and just leave it on for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then take it off. and then your skin just looks so plump and glowing. It's
it
fab.
sounds amazing. Yeah, I read somewhere on one of your articles that you spend 20 minutes every day doing skincare. Is that?
I have to. I've got no choice, because I'm not a spring chicken. I'm 54 now, and I have to spend time to look after my skin, because otherwise it starts to get gray and dehydrated. So you need to exfoliate a lot. And also, one of my favorite things is a mask in the morning. I find it so easy. You put on the mask. So mine is the enzyme peel mask, which exfoliates. And I cannot tell you how many people's faces I touch. And I think, oh my God, you don't exfoliate? Why? Because if you don't exfoliate, the skin gets really thick. And then once it's thick, nothing will penetrate. So you've got to exfoliate to get that glow and that sort of youthfulness going. So every morning I exfoliate with the mask, which is so easy. And then as soon as I take it off, the skin's just so smooth. And then you put all your serums and your creams and everything else. And
I love that tip. I mean, typically, a lot of people do that at night, including me, because I have more time. But I think that sounds super refreshing, and like it wakes you up in the morning, and you're like ready to go, and you're ready to receive everything. You know, exactly. Mentally and like physically through your pores. So I love that. Yeah.
I find that like self-care. So, you know, it's taken me a long, long time to justify spending time on myself. You know, when you're a working mom and you're so busy, and, you know, you've got the kids growing up, you've got the family home, you've got to look after everything, you're going out to work, there's actually very little time left for yourself. So
I have 2 teenagers doing high school upstairs right now. My 3 dogs are locked outside, so they're not going to be barking and scratching at my door. My husband's in the back house working. We're all still, we're all like, you know, doing it.
You feel me. You feel me.
I know it. I get it. It's hard.
So exactly. So now I've got the time where I can say, you know what, I'm important. And those 20 minutes or whatever amount of time I spend on myself, what I deserve. And it's my self-care.
Tell me about what made you decide to start Charlie and Company.
So Charlie and Co. Was, I have a very, very dear girlfriend called Shireen, whose dog is Charlie.
Okay. And is that the dog that's on the website?
That's the dog that's on the website and on the bottle.
So, oh my God, so cute. What kind of a dog? Is it like a mix or?
She's a Petit Brabançon.
Okay.
So yeah, she's gorgeous. So Charlie was ill 4 years ago, and Shireen had tried everything. She would wake up and she'd be scratching until her skin was bleeding. And Shireen had tried a lot of different things and nothing worked. In the end, she said to me, would you make Charlie a shampoo that would soothe her skin? So I said, sure, I can try. I've never done anything like that before, but, you know, it can't be that difficult. So I Googled, you know, what's the difference between dog skin and human skin? And actually I realized that dog skin has to be more alkali. So the product has to be more alkali to suit dog skin. And then I put in the different herbs that I'm used to using for human skincare, but also replacing all the detergents. So a lot of dog shampoos are very, very harsh. And this one uses very gentle detergents that are so gentle. They don't strip the skin. They cleanse it very, very gently, very, very naturally. And then I put pharmaceutical grade oats in there, organic oats. And I said to Shireen, here, try this and see if it works. And it worked beautifully. And she's used it ever since for Charlie. And then I think it was about 2 years ago, we had so many people asking for it that, you know, friends and family who said, oh, can I try it for my dog? That in the end we decided, okay, let's give it a go. So we launched around, I think, a year ago. And it's doing really well. So touch wood.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And then you were connected with the Wild at Heart Foundation.
Oh, yes. There's such a lovely, lovely foundation. So they rescue they rescue dogs from all over the world. And it's such a beautiful, so Nikki Tibbles is behind that, who's so passionate about her dogs and the rescuing, and they do a tremendous job. Really, really great.
And so right now, if anybody wanted to purchase that, they would do it directly through your website, right? And you ship internationally?
We do ship internationally, but actually we're on Amazon US.
Oh, you're on Amazon. That's great.
That would make it a lot easier for everyone,
Yes.
I think.
Okay, perfect. All right,
Yeah.
that's good to know. And I saw you have a whitening shampoo, which
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen before.
Have you not? Oh, so you know how with humans, the hair, if someone's blonde, it tends to go a little bit.
So it's more of like the purpley idea with the blonde. Yeah. Got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Because the love of my life was Coconut. She was a Maltese, and I absolutely adored her so much. I can't even tell you. And I lost her, unfortunately, a couple of years ago. She died, and I was so devastated. But I've had the experience of how to groom white dogs, and it's really hard to find any natural shampoo on the market for dogs, let alone white dogs. So what this one does, it's a blue color, and it just takes away that yellow tint that white dogs tend to get, and it just makes it so bright and shiny.
Oh, that's beautiful. I don't have a white dog, otherwise I would be getting it right away. Mine are all brown and black, and I wear their hair though every day. It's all over.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. And you said yours a rescue dog.
I have a Chihuahua, Harlow. She's a Chihuahua. She's a rescue. She's almost 6 pounds. And then I have Mickey, and he is also a rescue. He's a mix. He's like my guardian everywhere I go around the house. You know, he has to make sure that I'm okay. God forbid my husband wants to like kiss me on the head. Oh, no, she's mine. He's like a mix between a beagle and maybe a little bit of Chihuahua. We don't really know, but he's amazing. And then we have a pug that has a quarter French bulldog, and he's the sweetest, dumbest thing you've ever met. And he's quite soft. He likes to eat, so we're always watching Louis' weight because he likes to eat his brother and sister's breakfast and dinner. So if no one's looking, he'll have 3 meals 2 times a day. So it's a little
sweetheart.
Yeah. So those are.
You must be in heaven. That sounds to me like heaven.
Sometimes yeah, no, they're amazing. There are, especially now we're home so much. They are so spoiled. I mean, they've always been super spoiled, but you go out, you come back, and they have no sense of time. So, you could have gone to the market, come back an hour later, and they thought, you've been gone for 3 months. So they're super, like they're a family. So yeah, they're amazing. But so tell just a little bit about you have just one daughter, and
I've got a son.
Okay. And how so your daughter you're doing this business with, is your son involved in the pharmaceutical world at all?
No, he's only 18, so he's just at college, and he wants to be a professional boxer.
That's amazing. Oh my God. I have a heavy bag in my garage. I'm not kidding.
Oh, he loves it. So, he practices his, and funnily enough, he's the one that's sort of he's also doing a lot of shaman training. So he's got that side in him. And, Roxy's got the sort of more witchy side. So she does all the crystals and the incense and burning sage and doing the ceremonies, whereas he's more of a sort of, he wants to learn how to see energies, and he, gets visions and things like that. So it's been really nice and helpful for me to be there, to be able to guide him, like, okay, if this is what's happening to you, speak to so-and-so, and we have quite a lot of deep talks about that side of things, which is just lovely. for me.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a beautiful relationship, which is
I do. I'm
so
so
important.
blessed, so lucky. So never take it for granted. You know, I've been through the terrible teens with them, so I know
Yeah,
what that's like.
yeah. Well, yeah.
But you know, we come
I'm
through the.
kind of deep in it right now, but they're not terrible. They're not. I'm very lucky. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah. And then with your daughter growing up in, like, what are some of the beauty secrets or tips that you've kind of passed on to her, being
Yeah.
in this clean industry, and what has she taken from it?
So when she was 12, she really wanted to start wearing makeup, and you know, I was like any other mother, that's far too young. But you know, I realized that there's no way that I can actually stop her. She's gonna want to do it, and she'll do it whether I let her or not let her. So I sat her down and I said, okay, if you're gonna wear makeup, this is what you need to do. Um, Always cleanse. So I've always taught her that, both of them actually, both my son and my daughter. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because they go through that period of having the teenage spots, and
Yeah.
that's very stressful for them, for
Yeah.
all teenagers. So, you know, I taught them how to cleanse their face. They basically have a 3-step routine,
Mm-hmm.
and I've taught them that, which is cleanse, tone, moisturize, mask.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them follow that process right the way through to the point, you know, where my daughter now is, her skin is so beautiful and it looks so good that, and because she invests, so she, you know, she does that on a regular basis, and it shows, because you know, if you look after your skin,
Absolutely.
it you know, the investment pays. And you know, she loves to sunbathe, and I know that, you know, a lot of damage occurs, so I
Mm-hmm.
try to educate her, and I say, okay, well, you know, make sure you wear sunscreen, but also afterwards repair it with the
Yeah.
retinol and the vitamin C and these types of things, so that when you get to my age, you don't have all of that, you know, damage to deal with. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really great, and she's so open to hearing it and listening.
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's lovely because we really have that mutual respect.
That's amazing. Um, so tell me one more question. You know, you've given her so much advice. What about for yourself? What was the best advice you've ever been given? You know, business, spirituality.
I think really what I've learned, the best advice that I've been given, was through a book, actually, by a Jesuit priest called Anthony de Mello, and he wrote a book called The Way to Love. And in it, he talks about how, it's a very interesting book. It's really thin, and I recommend that whoever's interested in that kind of thing should read it. But um, he basically explains that all of our anxieties and all of our depressions and all of our pain and sorrow and everything comes from expectations. And
Mm-hmm.
once you let go of expectations,
Mm-hmm.
life just becomes so easy. It's a really difficult thing to put into place because we're constantly giving ourselves expectations. And you know, we've got like, I'm going to do this and I expect this. But once you actually let go of expectations and you realize that you have no control over anything or anyone or nothing, then you really realize that, wow, life is so simple and so beautiful.
Yeah, it
And that's when
sounds easy.
it's not
It's
easy, I know.
not easy. I can't. Yeah, it sounds very hard.
It's
Everything is so tied together, you know, like you feel everything is motivate, you know, you do something for the results. Everything's results driven in our world. So
it is.
you
And
need
and
that
of course,
result. You need that, you know, that hit, you know, like, okay, now what?
and we do want to, of course, achieve, but understanding that at the end we have no control over anyone or anything except ourselves. That's the only person or only thing that we can be responsible for, is how we are and how we think and how we speak, and our own actions, and that we're actually not responsible for anyone else's
Mm-hmm.
or anything else. Then suddenly life becomes a lot more simple.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is the best advice that I've been given. and that I can
great
share it.
advice. Yeah, it's super. It resonates very well, especially now with what you know
Yeah,
happening in this world. So I think,
exactly. And it's so easy, Robin, to get lost in the heaviness of everything.
mm-hmm,
So, one thing that I've learned to practice, which sounds so obvious, is gratefulness.
mm-hmm.
And I have two cats, for example, and every morning one of them comes for a kiss and a cuddle, and that to me is something to be so grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even when the sun shines, it's just so grateful for that. So it's looking at the little things in life that you can be grateful for, and then suddenly your whole outlook becomes positive,
Mm-hmm.
bright and happy. Whereas if we focus on all the other things, it just gets so heavy
Absolutely.
and sad. So
Absolutely.
even though I know it's not an easy time to practice that, just really being grateful for simple things like your dogs or your
Yeah.
children.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's lovely. It's true. I actually feel, side note, I started a site a few months back, and it's kind of along those lines. It's called Beautyology. So I'm kind of writing about, finding beauty in life, finding, when you find your passion, that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
so I've been, working on promoting, different, celebrating different individuals who actually kind of exhibit that in their work or in products that they have created or positive initiatives that kind of exude that. It's been, it's just a little project I've been working on. And that's what kind of connected me back with Anna. Because Anna and I've been in beauty industry for more than 20 years. I started off in editorial and writing for
Wow.
magazines. And then I have a PR company, so I represent beauty brands. So our paths have definitely crossed over the last several years in terms of, the brands that I represent, mostly clean, smaller, independent beauty brands and stuff.
Gorgeous.
So then the writing started happening, and now that she asked me if I wanted to kind of lend it my time to Coco. So here I am. It's been great. So and
Oh,
be able to connect with like you, and it's been amazing. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. How was the awards last night? Did you do the Marie Claire?
yes, it was virtual, so it was really good. Beautiful, beautiful brands and beautiful, beautiful ceremony.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Okay.
much,
All
Robin.
right. Take care.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.